you ever imagined that one day you'll finally confront the narcissist with the truth? You'll gather all the evidence, point out every lie, expose every manipulation, and finally make them see what they've done. It feels like the perfect ending. But here's what many people learn the hard way. A narcissist doesn't fear the truth. They fear losing control. When you confront a healthy person with the truth, they may feel guilty, they may reflect, they may even apologize. When you confront a narcissist, something very different often happens. The conversation isn't about facts anymore. It's about protecting their image. The moment the truth threatens that image, the defenses come up. Suddenly, you're the problem. You're too sensitive. You're remembering it wrong. You're overreacting. Or maybe they'll deny things that happened right in front of your eyes. Not because they forgot, but because admitting the truth would mean accepting responsibility. And responsibility is something many narcissistic individuals avoid at all costs. This is why so many victims leave those conversations feeling confused. You entered with evidence. You entered with facts. You entered believing that if you could just explain it clearly enough, they would finally understand. Instead, you leave questioning yourself. That's because the goal was never understanding. The goal was winning. And when someone is committed to protecting their ego, the truth becomes their enemy. Sometimes they'll become angry. Sometimes they'll play the victim. Sometimes they'll cry. And sometimes they'll suddenly bring up your mistakes from years ago. Notice what is happening. The focus keeps shifting away from their behavior. It's a distraction, a way to avoid accountability. Many survivors spend years trying to get a narcissist to admit the truth, to acknowledge the pain, to validate the damage. But closure rarely comes from the person who caused the wound. It comes from accepting reality. The reality that some people know exactly what they're doing, and some people will never give the apology you're waiting for. That doesn't mean the truth has no power. It does, just not in the way you think. The truth isn't powerful because it changes the narcissist. The truth is powerful because it changes you. The moment you stop arguing with reality, the moment you stop trying to convince someone who refuses to listen, the moment you trust your own experiences instead of seeking their validation, that's when your freedom begins. The greatest confrontation isn't sitting across from a narcissist and proving them wrong. The greatest confrontation is facing the truth yourself. The truth that their approval isn't required. The truth that their understanding isn't necessary. And the truth that your healing does not depend on their confession. Because once you understand that, you stop chasing answers. You stop defending your reality. And you start reclaiming your life. The truth was never meant to change them. It was meant to set you free.